I'm Nexius. You might know me from some other movies with Stivad. Stivad thought it was a good idea that I show you guys my room.
Tell us something about, if you can still remember, your first gaming experience.
My first gaming experience, I think I was about like 6 years old, and for my birthday I got a Super Nintendo as a present. I think it was the package with Super Mario, the game with it, so I played Super Mario a lot, and I really liked it when I was a child.
Super Mario World or?
The one with the 4 games.
All-Stars.
Yeah, All-Stars indeed. And then later on I bought some other Mario games, the one you just...
Super Mario World.
Yeah, indeed, yep. And the one with Baby Mario and
Yoshi.
And
Yoshi's Island.
Yeah. So, as you can see, this is my Final Fantasy collection. To me, it's my favorite my franchise. Yeah, but I have too little space, so it's a bit crowded and a bit messy. But yeah, when I have
looks nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice. How many games are you missing from a complete collection? Do you know?
I think from the European collection, I only need the special edition of the Crisis Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'm missing, I think. Or if someone else sees I'm missing something else, let me know so I can buy it.
That's a good answer. Yeah, what was your favorite game when you were a child?
Yeah, I think the Mario games and also Legend of Zelda. Really
Link to the Past. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. But I think when I was small, I got stuck somewhere in the second world, where you have to flood the gates or something.
Yeah, you have to go to the light world and then back to the dark world. And
yeah, I didn't know it then, and
yeah, that was cool about the old games when you were a child. You could get really stuck in a game, whereas now you just look up the solution online, or
yeah,
games are just easier in that aspect, I think.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't even have internet in those days, so when I was stuck, I could try for hours and hours, and if I didn't come up with anything, yeah, it was another game, or yeah, it sucks, but
that's the way it went back then.
Yeah, true. But then later on, I got I bought a PlayStation 1, and I got all these games with it, like Final Fantasy VII. But the first couple of times I played it, I don't know, I was too small, and my English, I mean, I was like 7 or 8, yeah. And my English wasn't that good, of course. Just a little bit from TV, but yep. Not that much. So I didn't really knew what I was doing. But I got stuck at the first boss, and I didn't play it for a couple of years later. Yeah,
that's another interesting point. Do you think that being Europeans and English not being our first language, you think that made certain games harder for us than for, say, Americans or English people?
Yeah, but when I was staying at my grandma and grandfather, yeah. My grandfather would always come sit next to me, and he would translate when I was playing Final Fantasy or Suikoden, and he really liked the story.
Really?
The story of them, yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah, because I was small and he always translated it, so I learned a lot English.
Yeah, that's another interesting point.
Those days.
I think a lot of Belgian kids learned English, of course, through music and movies, like a lot of people, but also through video games.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember playing Mega Man X and reading like sayings like "stupid piece of scrap metal" and stuff, and I distinctly remember that phrase.
I also collect the amiibos, but especially from the Smash Bros. Series, because I think it's one of my favorite games from the Wii.
Right.
And it really looks nice, but I don't have enough space to hang them against the wall or something, so they're taking up my desk at the moment.
Yeah, talking about your walls, they're covered with I think they're all Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
most of them.
Yeah, they're postcards you get from special editions and stuff like that.
Oh, they look really cool. They're everywhere in your room.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of special editions. When I was little, I played on the PlayStation, Crash Bandicoot, Rayman, Spyro. Really liked it back
All
then.
the platformer classics.
Yeah, indeed. Gex, Enter the Gecko, Jack and Dexter.
Yeah.
Those were my kind of games back then. Yeah, and later on, when I got better in English, I really liked Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8, 9. Yeah, it's like my favorite franchise. So
Yep.
all started with Final Fantasy 7. Legend of the Dragoon, really incredible game. Yeah, then later on I bought PlayStation 2.
Right.
I really can't remember that many titles.
How old were we when PlayStation 2 came out? I can't really put a number on that.
Maybe 12
12 to 14,
yeah,
something like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I also am a big fan of the Tales of series, so they deserve
Their own case.
Yeah, indeed.
So, same question for this franchise. How many games are you still missing? More than Final Fantasy games, I'm guessing, or?
No, the problem with the Tales of series is it's the latest years they're coming to Europe, but there are still a lot of Tales of games that aren't released in Europe. So.
Oh, I see. Are a lot of them released in the US or only in Japan?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, the US has a couple of Tales of Destiny, I think, and Tales of Destiny 2, but I'm not sure, so I can be mistaken.
Okay, Europe is falling behind.
Yeah, but the latest years they're
catching up to them.
Yeah, indeed.
That's nice. Also, a nice Zelda Monopoly game here.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
The last couple of weeks I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Really like those kind of games.
Yeah, I saw a Let's Play of Bloodborne by Game Grumps, I think. And at first any new game I kinda stay away from. I'm kinda reluctant to try out. But that game seemed really interesting actually. Kind of a fun hack and slash, straightforward kind of game.
Yeah, it's not fun always.
Right.
Yeah, you die a lot. And
right. Yeah, I've heard it's really, pretty hard.
Yeah. But
it's manageable.
That's what I like about it. It's really a challenge. And some bosses. You really just have to learn their patterns, and then when you think, I know everything, you're fighting him great, and then he does a new attack he hasn't used in like the half an hour you've been trying to.
That's maybe a segue to another kind of interesting point, in my opinion, at least. Do you think older games were harder than most games now? Because that's an argument definitely. You hear a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think now everything is in the most games it's practically impossible to get stuck, or you just have like one path you have to follow throughout all the game. I can remember that when I was younger there was sometimes you had to explore like world maps and find hidden things, or maybe there was this forest, and if you walked into the middle of the forest you came into a new area and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you're saying new games are more linear than the old games.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, maybe with the internet it's much easier when you're stuck. It's like, watch a YouTube movie or go search for a walkthrough.
Yeah, that's true. So
I don't think the
difficulty of the games itself didn't change much, but the accessibility to how you should play the game and
I think the younger generation of kids now I don't think they can get stuck in games. Just
Playing
I'm
any
stuck.
game.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, I'm stuck. Go on the computer.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually pretty well. I guess you could just enforce that rule for yourself. I guess when playing a game
true,
now.
But I think more people of our generation had the same problem earlier with the games.
Yeah.
So I think they like it also.
Probably.
So maybe their mindset is more like.
It's probably a generational thing, like a lot with gaming lately.
Yeah, indeed. It's nicer to find out yourself. And okay, if you played, if I play the game out, sometimes I miss some things, then I go look online and okay, you have to do it like this. And, it's an extra world there. Okay, and I play
like the details of the game and stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, these are just my my old PlayStation 2 games. Some PS3 games. I don't have that much. Some Xbox, but I haven't played them in like 8 years or something. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
My SNES games are over here in my in the closet. Because like I said, I don't have so much space to put everything on display.
You do have a lot of box SNES games. I'm especially jealous of the Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah, I have a
over
couple. I don't know.
Yeah, you seem to have quite a bit of it.
Yeah, indeed. But
That's nice.
those are actually all from my childhood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm glad. The most boxes are still intact.
Yeah, you've kept them pretty good, man. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and this is my Final Fantasy PlayStation 4. Do you like it?
It actually looks really cool. I never expected a PlayStation 4 to look this good. Whoa. Holy shit. Oh, something's happening.
Dark Souls also.
Dark Souls.
Very nice.
Okay. I turned on your PS4 without knowing.
Yeah, I hate those touch buttons. I always forget how to put it, which one is to put it on or to eject the disc.
Right.
Really hate it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You play new games, obviously, like Bloodborne and stuff.
Yeah.
But you also really like the retro games and the retro world.
True.
Do you think that retro is becoming more and more popular lately, and more expensive? Do you agree with that? With that sentiment? Because
yeah, it's true. I think it's getting more common. The retro games now, and not only known with the people who had play the games in their childhood.
Yeah, but people that are younger than us too.
Yeah, indeed. Now the demand is getting higher, so maybe that's why the prices are rising. But
do you see that stopping anytime soon, or do you think that's a continuous trend?
I don't know. I don't see why it's going to stop. Actually, I think it's a continuous trend.
Right.
And like you have the collectors, and like I said, if it has some childhood
sentiment attached
to
it.
Yeah, indeed. Then I paid extra $1 for it.
Yeah. I hear you on that. The same with me. I don't know. I kind of think that a lot of people, like you said, are getting into it. Not per se for sentimental reasons. I think some people are just getting into retro game collecting for monetary reasons, financial
just to
reasons.
Sell and buy, to buy and sell for higher.
Yeah, exactly. Or resell the games, or buy certain games and then hang on to them for a couple of years, expecting them to rise again in price in the next few years. I think some people do that too. But I also think that the more people doing that, the faster maybe the market is going to implode into itself, and people are going to get fed up with higher prices and are going to buy less and less and less, and maybe the prices will drop again. So I've heard some people speculating about that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
we'll see. You can't really predict stuff like that.
Something else you might notice when you walk in here is a lot of stuffed animals. A lot of
Yeah.
like Sonic and Pikachu and even Crash, which is pretty amazing. I've never seen him before in anybody's house or something. So
Yeah, a lot of are from my childhood, but I still like it. So
yeah, you told me earlier you won a lot of them playing the claw machine
yeah, indeed,
at arcades and stuff.
Yeah,
I guess
true.
that's
I think
pretty cool.
all of the Mario and Luigi and Toad and stuff over there comes from the
Cool.
arcade.
A little link here.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Is that the Wind Waker version or?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I forgot this one from my Final Fantasy collection.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
a pretty big box.
I have no space left, so I really need to buy another.
How much did you pay for them?
For everything.
For like your casings, your.
Not that much. I think they're from IKEA.
Oh really?
So I think, I don't know, 30, 40 euros or something.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. Should buy some of those.
I guess final question, unless you have something more to add, is what's your favorite game of all time? Not franchise, but game.
It has to be Final Fantasy 7
Really?
or Suikoden 2.
Right. Suikoden 2 or Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Give your opinion about that in the comments if you agree with Nexius here. And feel free to give your own personal favorite game. Kind of half expected you to say a Pokemon game, but that's kind of wishful thinking because they're in my top 3, I think, of all time.
I really like Pokemon games, but
Yeah.
you can't compare the
compete,
story
yeah.
with Final Fantasy
That's
or
true.
the Suikoden.
I'll give you that one.
Games.
Anything to add? Any last thoughts? If not, that's fine too.
Yeah, not that I can.
Okay, I think we've covered everything. Thanks for doing this, Nexius.
You're welcome.
Yeah, be sure to thank Nexius, people in the comments, and be sure to subscribe and like and share and all that stuff. Bye bye.
Heyo.